Ah, a visitor. Old Hroldan Inn has hundreds of years of history, friend.
There are
Drink
dragons
so
about,
fast.
traveler.
No time for
One
chat.
minute the dragon was there, the next it was gone. Everything was destroyed. No, I was too afraid to look. I don't know what we're going to do now. We have nothing left. You're too kind. Thank you. Be careful and stay safe.
Thank you
Deliveries
for
to
the
make.
gold,
No time for
traveler.
chatting.
Some wine, please?
Be careful.
Greetings. As you wish. What would you like me to play? An unusual request, to say the least. Are you by chance from the Gold Coast? Although it is not a well-known tune even there. However, you're in luck. As I hail from Cyrodiil, I am well versed in songs of all varieties, and songs of melancholy are my specialty. Waves touch the coast, harbored in twilight's blue. From dawn came the sunlight, and with dusk it fades from our view. Calm embraces the sky, while storms rage in our hearts. For honor, glory, and love, from Anvil we do depart. The fire lights the path, and the salt it sprays in our eyes. But warriors born of stone, they are never afraid to die. Ah, 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 ah. Bells on the docks, they cry out for the mortal day. And winds sing the dirt for the words we never could say. And sails fly at half-mast in the color of evening's hue. And tears break the silence for the children we almost knew. Ah, ah, When dawn kissed the ocean, from the golden light came our birth. And when dusk falls on the harbor, to the golden shores we will return. It's the very same. From whom, may I ask, did you hear the tale? As you should, for I already gave you my name and my vocation. If you mean to insinuate that I'm a certain raven-haired thief, then you will not be the first. We do share a number of similar traits. For that reason, I keep the certificate of my birth on my person. It states that I was born Asteria of Bravil, under the birth sign of the ritual. It is well known that the Raven of Anvil was born on the darkest month of the evening star, under the birth sign of the thief. And while we are not the same woman, I must admit, I have used her infamy to my advantage, both as a bard and a lady. Why, yes. Besides, if I were truly the Raven of Anvil, why play the song? Why not cover my hair with a cloth? You're persistent and clever. I like that. All right, clever girl. I will say this and nothing more. There was once a loyal and dedicated soldier who held beside him a great big shield. For king and country he raised it high, shielding himself from arrow and sword. And when his king raised the land and raped its people, he used it to shield his eyes. She may. A bard hears many rumors on the road, some of which are quite valuable to those who work in the shadows. To the left of the entrance to Markarth, you will find a storeroom, with a workbench and a man. A guard by the name of Lundvar. Blood stains his eyes, and mead frosts his breath. He is short for a Nord, yet nothing short of an honorable one. What he does not know is he has been betrayed. When you tell him this, his lips will be as loose as his throat is wet. He knows the location of a ledger, one that names the greatest bards in all of Skyrim. I would pay good coin to have my name atop it. That is a heavy accusation, Sirrah. Rumors are but ghosts, and it's best we don't pay them any heed. But I'll allow it this one time, if you do as I ask. Take this letter to the guardsman. When you have gained his trust, you will ask him a favor. To write my name on a ledger of famous bards. Nothing more. As for your payment, I will give you half of it now. When my name is on that list, you'll receive the rest. Greetings.
Did I ever tell you how breathtaking I look when I'm choking a bandit?
Hello, friend.
Find one, and I'll show you.
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
How can I help you? That's a good question. The captain of the guard was in here just a moment ago, asking the same thing. To be honest, I've spent so much time alone, I never noticed he was missing.
They have a whole
Maybe he
mine
took a
filled
leave
with
of
prisoners that dig
absence.
up silver ore, get smelted by workers they pay, and they own half the city.
Old Hroldan? Shore's beard, why would he be there? That place is miles from anything. This is from Uthmar? He says my brother was betrayed by city guard. This can't be. A Nord would never betray his own watch brother. How dare you? You know as well as I that a Nord would die as a beggar, eating a pile of his own waste before he soils himself with blood money. And yet, for some reason, when I read this letter, it tells me its words ring true. What has the world come to when a man can't even trust a fellow Nord? But if there's corruption in our city, we need to root it out. I owe it to my brother to do so. I don't know why you brought me this letter, but I thank you. I hope Uthmar finds peace wherever he is. Sure, but if you think I will sully myself to get revenge, I'm sorry, but I won't. The ones who killed my brother will rot in cinder mine until the end of days, but it will be the Jarl who gives the sentence. I swore an oath to protect the city and the law, and I will die 1,000 deaths before I break it.
Was it your ma or your pop that was the job?
Somewhere in Sovngarde. My brother is nodding his head.
Are you my gallant
Because if
hero?
it were me who
Have you come
died,
to whisk me away
he
into
would
a
say
life
the
of
same.
adventure and romance?
I see. So she wants to perform for the Jarl, and thinks I will write her name in Ingvar's ledger. I appreciate what she's done, but that would not be fair to the other bards. I am sorry, but you must tell her no. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to think about what I'm going to say to the captain.
Oh, hey there.
Blood and silver, friend. Blood and silver. Just turn around and... The city. That's the smart move.
Have you come to taste my potions and ingredients? I apologize, but I am not a common house chef who patronizes random citizens. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Listen, you perfume-wearing sausage drinker, and listen well. My friend over here may have asked you nicely. And that's because neither of us thought you were stupid enough not to see we weren't really asking. Well, turns out you're mighty stupid. And if you want to keep that blister wort you keep between your legs, you'll cook us some hog stew, right now.
Let's get going.
I never... Oh, fine. In that case, seeing as I have little choice, I will cook your stew. I trust you brought the meat, or must I magic a
I'm here to help.
thin air?
It's Conjura Hulka Breton. You just get dumber with every word. And yes, we do have the Hulka meat. Get it from my partner.
By the divines, where did you get this? The marbling, the texture, this is the finest slab of meat I have ever laid my hands upon. Yes, yes, of course. Such a fantastic dish can only be wrought by the hands of Claria Moorsley. But I am without my assistant, and she fetches my ingredients. Perhaps you two can get them for me, or just you. The other belligerent one I do not trust with such a delicate task. Let me see. I will need a lavender and a tomato, of course, but this will be no ordinary stew. I will need a potion of resist cold, fire salts, and a scroll of repel undead to ward off contamination. And carrots as well. A good stew could always do with a few carrots. Do you think you can remember that? Of course you can. You are not as dense as that one. Hurry back. Even with my alchemical preservation methods, this meat will only stay fresh for so long. Oh.
Remember, hit the one in the middle.
I'm gonna crush you like a...
This is the end for you.
I'll tear you to pieces. I'll show you a real fight.
Gems, maybe? Only one way to find out.
Yule!
You're a...
All things considered.
Still here.
What was that?
Let's get going then.
You're out of your league. That's the end of that.
God.
I'm right behind you.
Yule!
Die!
Sorry, I'm not that easy to get rid of.
I'm gonna kill you.
Death is what you want.
Time to finish! Even think of Layla. Finger on me?
You're good as dead.
Yule!
Only a fool lets himself get surrounded.
Can I help you? We've stopped. What is it?
What was that?
Yule!
What was that? himself get surrounded.
It's fantastic.
Come on, come on!
Yo!
Fool lets himself get surrounded.
Is someone there? You're as good as dead.
Sorry, I'm not that rid of.
What?
How can I help you? I see.
I wonder
That
what
was poor
happens when a
judgment on
customer
your
can't
part.
afford to pay for a meal or a drink.
If the singer notices the list went missing, all my plans would be for naught. You may be right, but it was still foolish to take that chance. Wait, how much of a brute is the singer? He doesn't write like a brute. In fact, it's the other way around. His handwriting is so flowery, it's practically illegible. Which means you couldn't just write the name in. Damn college bards and their fancy script. This bloody fetcher must be completely full of himself. Then you had better get on the next boat to Black Marsh. Although I've got to hand it to the old man. I was surprised he got as close as he did. But I have a friend with the Oculatus who gave him a few false leads. Right about now, he should be on a boat to the other side of the continent. I could use a forger now. Someone with an expertise in handwriting. There was an elf here the other day, wearing fake college robes. He might have a contact, or someone who can forge letters as well. He said he was going to follow the White River east of Windhelm. But hurry. We can't hold on to this list forever. At some point, the Jarl's going to request Yngvar bring him another bard. It's as I told you. He's a murderer. There really isn't much more I care to say. Everything I told you was true. I never would have lasted this long if it wasn't. Think of it this way. You can dress a beggar in fine furs and drape amulets around his neck. But as soon as the stupid fetcher opens his mouth, he'd be completely undressed. That's what a lie is. Layers upon layers that can all fall apart with a single truth. So I don't lie. I tell it to you straight. Only I dress my words in the bard's tongue. So that you, Sirrah, will find the kindness to grant favor to my cause, even if you know not what I seek. All right, then.
That's... wow.
Caves sound more exciting than bard songs.
I'm here to help.
Back to Dust.
Can I help you? What do you need to take? Lead on then.
Back to Dust.
All things considered.
Your life ends here. Sorry, I'm not that easy to get rid.
Was that? I'll tear you to pieces. Come on, come on.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. come to talk with you again.
Sorry, I'm not that easy to get rid of.
Quite a team.
Oh wow, this is gorgeous.
You have a grim look. Fine, let's trade then. Good. What's the matter, friend? Fine, let's trade then. Good.
If you are here to finish me, then do it. Don't just stand there gaping. Liar. Mr. Merrin will not trust one so green. That is true. Do you know it? That is a very old mage, I know. You speak true. Which must mean you are a college mage, and my eyes have deceived me once again. Correct. We had interrogated witnesses in Winterhold. Like those at the college, they are very sensitive to mages, and these mages were 3. A Jad overheard them talking in private. It was but a single word, but it spoke volumes. The word was winking. The tavern owner there was, as the master likes to say, careless. They often are. He pointed me in the direction of a room with a rather curious tenant. He never left his quarters, but of guests he had 5 in as many nights. could not risk entering the room. A cloaking spell is but a justice trick to mages who can detect the essence of life. It is by the luck of the twin moons that I found a friend in an Argonian named Gulam A, whose sweet hands found the pockets of his visitors. That is the fault of my own hubris. Gulam A charged a stiff price, but true to his word, what he possessed was worth every septim. The notes he stole contained 5 prospective locations where the mages planned to conduct their separate research. As per Master Marinen's instructions, I was to return to her with this information. I was about to do so when I saw the mage descend from his room. He was a Dunmer man, with a wisp of thick hair, eyes as hot as the sands of elsewhere, and wings of crimson war paint gliding down his face. In his presence, this Khajiit did not move, could not move, yet all his fur stood on end. Perhaps it is the result of being Khajiit, but I followed, and he noticed, and so he led me here. It is only by virtue of Master Marinen's teaching that I managed to hold on to the document. I brought many sets of clothes in order to fashion a story. When I met the Dunmer at the inn, I was dressed as a farmer. When I shadowed him here, I came dressed as a thief. The mage assumed the first was a disguise, and the second my true form. Were I not a Khajiit, it is possible he would see past this disguise to the truth. However, like most illusions, the spell works best on those who wish to believe. No, I am afraid this cat has exhausted all of its lives. However, if you would be so kind, perhaps you would be willing to listen to a dying Khajiit's final request. When I was but a beggar, there was a Khajiit female who provided me with alms. She was a poor farmer, but wealthy with kindness. Such was her kindness that she considered my bread. While others tossed their septims with disdain, she traded their alms for petty magic tricks. I still remember how her ears perked up ever so softly whenever I would conjure an orb of light in my palm. It was during one of these tricks that Master Marinen recognized my talents. Finally, I thought, this Khajiit will earn some real respect. No one was more proud of me than the farmer. Yet in the months that followed, I changed. Suddenly it was I who could not associate with her. Could not be so kind if I were not dying, I presume. She was much the same. She could have been angry with me, but instead she granted my wish. Many times I would pass her on the street and say nothing. My eyes told her all she needed to know and nothing she wanted to hear. No, that is not necessary. You see, on some nights you could stare at the twin moons sitting in the heavens like a pair of mismatched eyes. She told this foolish beggar that if one Khajiit prayed to Mesa and another prayed to Secunda, they could communicate through the stars. Her moon was Secunda, and mine Mesa. So my final request is this. The next time you look at the night sky and see the moons in flight, tell her I'm sorry, and I never had a better friend, or a kinder one. Your words warm my heart. This Khajiit thanks you dearly, but we are not done yet. There is still the business of the notes, yes? Master Merlin once said that the greatest delusions require no spell. I had once resented the fact that people assumed I was a simple thief. My skills were such that I had earned an apprenticeship under a celebrated mage. yet still people clutched their coin purses in my presence. When I addressed my concerns to Master Merlin, she called me a furry fool. That I was, on both counts. She made me realize that the perception of me was nascent. Make them clutch their purse, she said, instead of their shield. Thank you, friend. With that, this cat can rest easy. Tell Olivia not to blame herself. Her teachings did not fail me. They are what gave this poor beggar a reason to live, and honor in death.
Greetings.
What can I do for you?
Huh. Funny you should mention that, Maine. I have these dreams sometimes. There's this little boy, and he won't stop crying. I tell him I'm doing this for him. I tell him I'm fighting this war so that he can grow up in a safer world. But the tears won't stop. So I take this child in my arms and I tell him I'm sorry. That's when I hear another voice, a woman's, and she says the same. She says, "I'm sorry, Clark." And then I wake up. Weird, I know. Still trying to figure out what it has to do with mud crabs.
Aye, her name's Elisif the Fair, or so they say. Everyone tells me how much I look like King Torin. Must have been a handsome king, is what I tell them.
Blessings of the Eight Divines upon you. How may I help?
Wait, which one is Kinnereth?
Child, you need to pay more attention to what Frere and Roland teach you.
But I don't want to be a priest, Mama. I want to be a great warrior someday, like Ulfgar the Unending.
Stop talking nonsense, or you'll end up
Remind
like
us
your
of our
father.
place when we
But
forget.
isn't Daddy a
in the
merchant?
steps of the Divines.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, your mother just forgot herself. Kinnereth is the one in the center. Greetings. Have you come to the shrines to pray? I'm trying to teach my boy about the Divines, but he's having a hard time matching the names to the altars.
May knowledge of your divinity carry us through our daily trials.
You sound like someone else I used to know. Thank the gods my husband isn't anything like you two. Oh, have you met Gormleif? He's a good provider, but even better, he's a wonderful man who sets a fine example for my son. Please, not in front of the child.
Mama, who's Clark?
Nobody, sweetie. Just the man your mother knew before you were born. Try not to say such things in front of the boy, okay? You'll only confuse him. You're not the first person to tell me about the crabber who lives south of Dragonbridge. But even if it really was Clark, it doesn't matter. That was a long time ago. I've moved on, and Gormleif is a good father to my son. I know, which is all the more reason I can't tell my boy. If I have to live in sin, then I will, if it means a better life for my son. Look, I know you're just trying to help, and the truth is, I've been tempted to go see him myself. I worry about him, not as a wife, but as a mother. A life in the wild is hard for any man, even one as strong as Clark. But when I asked my friend how he was faring, she said he looked happy. And that was when I knew Mara had forgiven me. Perhaps it's time I forgive myself and let go of this ring.
These
There
temples
you
are nice.
are, my love.
There's something
Everything's
mystical
packed and
about
ready.
it.
The captain's
Walking
waiting for
among
us to
the
board.
mist, the
I'm
stone
sorry to make you
border
worry,
cast
husband.
capture.
We just came to ask Kinnereth for a safe journey.
Actually, I already asked for her blessing this morning.
Of course you have, my love. I should have known. You always think of everything.
It's the curse of being a merchant. Now come, let's go before the captain starts charging us by the hour.
What can I do for you? Don't forget to grab a bite.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
And I think you're mistaken. A crabber has no need for such trinkets. My advice is to toss it into the river and ask Kinnereth for more rain. A good heavy storm will really get these crabs out of the mud and into our stomachs. For now, I suggest you drink up and chow down. When you're a crabber, every day you're the king. Oh, the time has come, my crabber friends, to talk of other things. Gold and jewels and time and dust of jarls and high kings. They own the land and own the sea, but they can hardly be dull. While they pay in gold, we fish for free, have ourselves a ball. And while the river's running red, war comes with each spring. A crabber's life is all I ask with fishermen and kings. And while the river's running red, war comes with each spring. Huzzah, hooray, come run away, a crabber's life for me.